It's turned on now. Oh, good grief. This is take 2, and I just was doing so good. Now I have to do it good again. All over again. Hi, everyone. I'm NonnaGrace, and I'm from Western New York. I was telling you about Mr. Brown. But what it was is I was watching Blackphoenix Entertainment, and he was doing a recap of his channel, what it's about. And he was letting the people that know different things about his channel and the new people to know. Oh, that's bad. Oh gosh. He was doing a recap of his channel so that those that were new would know what his channel was about. And I thought, well, maybe I should do that, because I do have a hen that I call Mr. Brown, and a lot of you don't know the backstory of Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown was actually a little egg that I hatched in the house. And what it was is I had 2 hens that were broody at the same time, and one hen's eggs hatched before the other one, and so she was not interested. The second one that hadn't hatched out, Mr. Brown, wasn't interested in sitting on Mr. Brown's egg anymore, and I thought, oh, that poor little egg, it's 1 week from hatching if it's going to hatch. Well, I made an incubator out of a styrofoam box. It's just a homemade thing with a little light in it, and I put a little thermometer in there that had the humidity, because humidity is very important when you're trying to hatch out the egg, and the temperature had to stay a certain temperature. And I put straws in it so that it would help it to vent if it needed it, and I could plug up the straw if it was getting too cold. But anyways, I put Mr. Brown's egg in there, and it hatched. Well, when I did the test that they show on different channels, I looked at the wings and I looked at the legs, and it said, I'm a rooster. So because he was born, or she was born, on the same day that my Aunt Rosemary passed away, it was August 1st. And if I'd known it was going to be a girl, then that little chick would have been called Rosemary. But because I thought it was a rooster, I thought, well, I will call it Mr. Brown, because that was her last name. So that's how Mr. Brown got her name. So I left it, even though one day Mr. Brown laid an egg, and I says, whoa, Mr. Brown is not a Mr. anymore. But Mr. Brown stayed a Mr. So when I tell the joke about which side of the roof does Mr. Brown lay an egg, and people will say, the answer to that really would be, as roosters don't lay eggs, but Mr. Brown does. And then there was also, I'll just go over, somebody asked me too if my hens have names. A lot of them do have names, but there's a lot of them that don't have names because I didn't. There's nothing that has been noticeably different about them that gave me a name for them. I've had several roosters over the years. I've had, my first 2 actually were roosters, and they were supposed to be hens. I got those 2 from my brother, and that was Stella and Gertrude, but they were roosters. So I ended up giving those 2 back, and then I bought the buffs. And when I bought the buffs, there was 6 buffs that I bought, and they all had names, but I don't remember the names. One of the buffs was killed by my he-she hen. It was a hen that thought it was a rooster, but she was really nasty, and she broke the neck of one of my buffs. Then I had 2 other buffs that were being tortured by my rooster that I had. I had a bad rooster, and so I gave those buffs to my brother. I've had Buddy, which was a nice rooster, and then I had Buddy's boy.
Where'd you get Buddy from?
I got Buddy from Luke. Luke was my nephew. He gave me Buddy. But it was a
Americana gamecock.
Yes, that's the kind it was. And I also had a Leghorn. It was a Rhode Island Leghorn mix, and that was a really mean rooster. That one I used to walk into the chicken area with a screen between me and the rooster, because if I stepped to the left, he'd step to the left. If I stepped to the right, he'd step to the right. And he was like challenging me, and I was getting afraid to go into the chicken area. I had to go in there to feed them, So I called my brother up, and my brother came and got him in the night. That's the only time you can catch these roosters is in the night. And I had Pretty Boy. Pretty Boy was a nice rooster, except he was tormenting my buffs. So he had to go because he was knocking this one buff in the head so bad, and their beak is worse than a rock. So he could have killed her, but he didn't kill her. But he was not very nice, and she always would stay in the nest, or she would stay underneath the other chicken area where he couldn't get her. He was just so mean, so I had to have him go. And that's when I bought the 6 Americanas. And they were supposed to be hens, but they're not hens. I had 2 of them were roosters, and so the one ended up going away. I had one of those Americanas die like the second day, and I had another Americana die. So I have actually 2 hens and Honey Boo Boo. Honey Boo Boo got his name from my granddaughter. She named him. Actually, all of the chickens were named by my grandchildren. And there's Maggie May, and there was Cora, and Isabella, and Honey Boo Boo. Now,
why did we buy those 6 hens?
Well,
Chicks.
because Emma was broody, and I didn't have any eggs. I didn't have anybody I could get eggs from, so I decided I would try to put chicks under her, but I think I did it wrong. You probably should have done it at night.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't wait till night, but Emma didn't accept them, and so we ended up raising them, and I put them in the little chicken area, and Honey Boo Boo was a brave little soul. He would go out among the big chicks to get the scratch, and the other ones would kind of hang back, but eventually they all came out, and he's very friendly. He, as you will see when I put the little video in, which I will pretty soon. I wanted to tell you I have Emma, Silver, Blondie, Cora, Isabella, Dorothy, and Big Girl, which is also called Mean Girl. She's the black one that will eat out of the dish. She waits there, and she if she eats out of my hand, she's the one that always bites me, so I don't feed her out of my hand. Then there's Blackie, which is a little black bird that looks the size of a crow, which I wish I had more of those, because hawks think that because crows are enemies to hawks. I don't know if you knew that, but they don't like, the crows will actually chase the hawk away, and crows will tell you if there's a hawk in the area. They're like tattletales. Then there's Mr. Brown, and then there's Honey Boo Boo. Now, I have a little video I want to put in, so let's just go to that little video. Hello there, ladies. You all want something to snack on. My throat is froggy because I haven't been talking. Okay, come on. Here, let's go over here. We'll throw some over here. There you go. There they go running. I'll put this down for you and the little lady there. Here. I'm going to put the dish down. You want it out of my hand. Okay, let me get some. Honey Boo Boo. He likes it out of the hand. He won't take it out of the dish like the girls do. I'll give you some more, girls. Let me have some more. And there's Mr. Brown. I was thinking I probably should do an update on how they got their names. Like, that's the big girl. She bites when she eats out of my hand. And this one is Cora and Isabella. Little lady, or Mr. Brown's look-alike. Little lady. She's coming by. Whoops. He says, your hand is empty. Whoa, girls. A lot of them have names. There's a few that don't have names. There's Brownie. The brown ones are really mean, and that one bites too. And you can tell by their ears what color eggs they should have. Like, she's got red ears, so she should have brown eggs. And you've got, these girls have, where are they? Let's see. Their legs are kind of greenish. They're dark, so they will have the green brown eggs, whereas their legs are lighter in color. You can tell a lot by the feathers on the birds and by their feet and by their ears. And you're all like trying to get in that one dish. Here, let's throw it. There you go. Go running. I got to go in before Mr. Brown decides to come in too. Oh, you're not supposed to come in. There you go, sweetie. It's actually a beautiful day today. I have to tell you, I'm so proud of this pepper plant. This is the one that I thought was, oh, Jake, you're being naughty out there. Don't you chase that rooster. He doesn't have his spurs yet, but he will be getting them, and when he does, you'll be sorry. Well, anyways, this pepper, I'm really proud of it. This is the one that I had hanging on the window, and at first I thought it was a tomato seed that I saved, but apparently I saved a hot pepper seed. And if you look very close, I don't know if you can see it, it looks like there's going to be something coming up that might be a blossom. Look who's looking at me through the window. You silly girls and boy. They're just watching me. And this plant is doing so good. This other plant, this mother-in-law's tongue or whatever it's called, Emily uses the proper name. She brought it here because it wasn't doing well at her house, and it's got a new leaf. The new leaf is, let me point to it. This is the new leaf. She said that, wow, it really likes your spot, your house. Well, my plants seem to do very well. I enjoy plants, and even my avocado tree, that is amazing. I am shocked at it, but that one in the back is dying. But this one is flourishing. I'm so glad you're doing so well. I had another one that was doing pretty good up to a point, but then it died. So I don't know if it will keep going or what. I put an ivy in there too. I don't know if you can see the ivy or not. I wrapped an ivy around the base of it just to give it something so it's got greenery going up its long stalk. And then I have an elephant leaf plant back there. I don't know what it's really called, but I call it an elephant leaf plant because it really gets huge leaves on it. But my cactuses are doing great. I mentioned in the little video that's Little Lady had a stroke. And most people would have called her, but I don't call any of my birds. And I thought, well, we'll try and get her to be healthy again. And you would never know that Little Lady ever had a problem. I also have a Little Lady's look-alike, and I have Mr. Brown's look-alike. That's their name, actually. And I call them Little Ladies look-alike, and I call it Mr. Brown's look-alike.
Where did we get Dorothy from, though?
Dorothy. Dorothy is, she was from Jessica's farm. Jessica had, that's my daughter. Jessica had over 100 chickens at one time. And little by little, they were being taken off by hawks and by fox and by critters. She lives where there's a lot of animals that were constantly stealing her hens, and they were coming up dead. Well, she had about 6 or 7 of them left, so she gave them all to the neighbor. But Dorothy kept coming home. And why did Dorothy keep coming home? Well, she had some chicks that Jessica didn't know she had, because
eggs at that point.
Well, yeah, but she hatched them out. And the funny part is they carry these, you wonder how, and it was a high area that these eggs were at. So if the chicks would have hatched, they would have never gotten any water. They would have fallen and probably killed themselves if they fell off of this high. It was really high. It was like her porch area. And how they get there is they tuck the egg under their wing, and they can get up. They can do whatever. These hens are funny. They either move the eggs with their beaks and their heads, or they tuck them under their wing, and they carry them away. They're really sneaky.
They can actually even fly with the wing.
Yes, they can. And so Dorothy, because Dorothy had these chicks, she kept coming back, and Jessica thought, well, this isn't good, because she really didn't have she didn't have anything for Dorothy anymore. So she decided to give me Dorothy. So that's how I got Dorothy, and that's how Dorothy got her name. It's like after the Wizard of Oz. She constantly would be coming home. So, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a beautiful day. I have to go get my eggs. I haven't even gathered them yet today. I'm going to have to go out and get them and then lock the hens in because they go in usually around 7:30. And this is a long video. I hope you had something to drink. A little late to tell you, but you probably saw the numbers on the bottom as to how long it is. And I'll talk to you all again tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.